It's all fun and games, right? Literally. Marvel Rivals, that is. The brand new 6v6 video game is exploding off the scene right now, and it's hard to see the momentum slowing down at this point. The logical reason behind this is probably because of the fact that you can play as your favorite superhero or villain. It could also be because the anticipation for other playable heroes in the future is surreal. Or maybe it's exploding solely just because it's a fun and addicting game. Well, I'm here to tell you that maybe the real reason this game is taking off is because it literally tells us the recipe of success for whatever goal you have in your life. What do I mean by that? Well, let's start this off by saying that it shouldn't come as a shock to you that you have something you want to achieve before you die. No goal is a small goal. Every goal should be looked at as a big task that's attainable, as long as you put in the work. But here's the thing that sometimes flies out of our head. It's not just ourselves that we need to reach our destiny. Name one success story that only involves one person's doing. Maybe you'll find one where one person alone did some heavy lifting, but regardless, help was needed. It can be from someone needing a spotter at the gym for safer bodybuilding. Someone needed to hire the right coworkers to make all the difference in their business. Or maybe someone needed a counselor to keep their mind in the right place to become an incredible parent. Point is, humans thrive off of two things. 1, discipline, and 2, teamwork. Not saying that those things are easy to get a hand on, but it's certainly needed. It sure sounds a lot like Marvel Rivals, doesn't it? Yes, you yourself need to work hard at your characters, figure out how they work, and do your part in a match. What happens though when you're the only one doing the heavy lifting in those rounds? It doesn't really go so well. What happens when the rest of your team is doing their part? It usually does go well. Marvel Rivals isn't just a 6v6 game, it's a representation of what you need to do to get your life where you want it to be. You need to choose what you're skilled at. You need to spend hours practicing and getting better at that skill. But you also need to find at least someone that helps you reach whatever your end goal may be with that skill. Some people don't realize that, but it's true. Success doesn't come without practice, but it also doesn't come without working with the right people. I mean, you're probably not afraid to do the task I just listed earlier in Marvel Rivals, right? What are you skilled at? Vanguard, duelist, strategist, a bit of all? Who's your character? Whoever and whatever you play, you know it takes hours and days, months to get better at this character. You're aware that your team is nothing if you don't do your part. But you also need to surround yourself with the right team. A team can't thrive if both A, the team doesn't have enough healers or tanks or whatever, and B, if they're not even good as the character they choose. Like I said earlier, a Marvel Rivals win doesn't come by one person carrying the team. It comes with being surrounded by the right people and everyone on the squad doing their part. I at least learned that with Marvel Rivals. I have a squad of 5 people that play this game with me. When we all first played the game, this was our team: Star-Lord, Storm, Iron Fist, Squirrel Girl, and Cloak and Dagger. And whoever that random 6th player was, it was almost always Spider-Man or some shit. There's actually 2 problems with the squad I had. One is evident, the other not so much. The problem everyone notices is there's only one healer, no tank, and the rest of the team are DPS. Now, in the low ranks it didn't matter too much, we won a lot in the low ranks, but we can only climb up the ranks the more we win, and that means the challenges force us to change the team a bit. We still had a Cloak and Dagger, and we still had a Storm, but we added 2 new tanks, Doctor Strange and Venom, and honestly, my team cooked with all of those players. But what's the second problem on my squad that isn't so evident? Not another healer? Kind of, but the second problem is, to be honest, I felt like I was the only player on the team that wasn't doing jack shit. I was Iron Fist. I wanted to zip around the map, destroy people, and run away, bothering them anytime they face our squad. I wanted to be the nuisance that everyone had to truly game plan for when facing my team. I guess you could say I wanted to be the character that led our team to victory most times. And it just never worked. I honestly wasn't good at Iron Fist. I couldn't beat anyone. We won games because 4 or 5 out of 6 players did their part in low ranks, and even in higher ranks, we did okay with just one healer. But when you have someone that, for one thing, shouldn't be another DPS, but 2, isn't even good at Iron Fist, you know you could be winning way more games. It was clear to me. I had to switch characters. So I mess around with some other characters to see if I like them, yada yada yada, and then I wonder, would strategists be fun for me? So I give Invisible Woman a try, and bro, I freaking cooked. I clicked immediately with this character. I understood the assignment. Focus on the team, push with the tanks, push opponents off the edge, turn invisible to heal and stay alive when needed. Use one of the more powerful ultimates in the game to almost secure overtime victories. She makes too much sense to me, and we needed another healer anyway, so it worked out in that sense too. I reached Lord Invisible Woman, and I found out it's pretty easy to win MVPs with her as a cherry on top. My squad is trying to find more characters to play as though. I'm trying to find out who my DPS is. I've been doing solid as Mr. Fantastic recently, I guess. And for Vanguard, there's one character that isn't in the game yet, but I assume he'll be a Vanguard. I'm low-key just waiting on my guy Ghost Rider to get into the game so I can cook as my favorite superhero ever. I don't want to beat a dead horse about the lesson I keep talking about in this video. Practice what you're skilled at and find the right people to work with, cause yeah, I did have to practice as Sue Storm, and I do feel like I'm surrounded by the right people to win games. But there's one more lesson that this story teaches that I want to sort of end the video essay with. Life isn't about you. My goal as Iron Fist was very selfish. I wanted to be the one that everyone relies on and the reason we win games. I wanted to beat people up as a quick and speedy kung fu dude and feel like I accomplished something in my life because of it. But that goal went nowhere because it was all about me. I had realized that playing as Invisible Woman was to make sure that the team wins games. Maybe I'll win MVP, maybe I won't. That doesn't matter. Focus on your team and we'll win. That's something I feel more proud of than my goal as Iron Fist. And I'm sure my team has a similar mindset with who they're playing as. I'll end this video essay off by saying that first and foremost, it's not a bad thing to have a goal for yourself. Maybe you want to be a bodybuilder or the best actor on stage. Those things take work, learning, and time within yourself. Only you yourself can truly work on the skill that's meant for you. But you also will never exceed further if you decline just a little bit of help from others. When someone has words of encouragement, some useful tips for what you're working on, don't ignore it. They might be onto something that you never realized you needed to do. And especially if your end goal involves working as a team, work with the right people. Lift up others as they would do for you. The only way to success is by teamwork, including a good relationship with yourself.